Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another video. And I've been digging through the collection a little bit. And yeah, I finally found some stuff that I put away that I was like, I checked online the other day and I'm like, man, these things have went nuts. And my question is the Pokemon hobby really down this bad? Like that people are this desperate? And the product I'm going to break out is the Fusion Strike 3-pack blisters in all of their glory. Finally found them in my closet. I knew these fuckers were laying around here somewhere. What do we got? 5 of them? 5 fucking Fusion Strike blisters. And man, like I remember ordering a ton of these at $15 each and just not even looking at them as an investment, dude. There's like, I ripped like tons of them. And yeah, now these are like selling for $50 to $60. Like that's insane. I never thought I would look back, you know, it makes me feel old in a way, that like I would look back and just be like, whoa, like looking at like prices, like this is a good one. Dollar General had these for 10 fucking dollars. And like now looking at them, you're like, damn, I mean, they're decently more expensive, which is kind of funny. But, like the takes in Pokemon right now, I almost can't stand the ignorance in this community of just how fucking stupid people's opinions are. And like I hate to rip on everybody. And by the way, I have to make a funny joke. Someone made a YouTube profile called Pokey Teeth Joey, which has like Pokemon Joey with like big ass teeth, which is like fucking funny as shit. But either way, back to business and talking about cardboard. I just thought it was funny. Pokey Teeth Joey. It's just like fucking hilarious. Anyway, not like throwing shade at the guy or anything, but yeah. So there's like this camp of people, and it's like Pokemon Joey, a bunch of his followers. They're in like the 151s, the shit, bro. 151 to the moon, and it's what's the other one? Celebrations. Those two sets, and I mean, yes, Celebrations has done well. Um, and it has done decent, and it's probably like my point is all of this stuff is probably going to do decent. So I'm not like disagreeing with Pokemon Joey, like 151. Yeah, it'll probably fucking go up. Like even these booster bundles, like these will probably go up from like I don't know, like what are they at 60 now to 100, 110. Like they probably will. Like I'm not even denying that will probably be a thing. But my point is though, is there are just better investments. And you really have to like start looking at things like just differently than the herd. But and mainly just going for the oldest possible boxes you can get, Like I was having this discussion that like Lost Origin cases, Fusion Strike cases, I mean, those are really your best route to go right now because they're getting so fucking old and like hard to come by. Like these are the sets you want to grab, like your Lost Origins. Because like Lost Origin, just the booster boxes are going to be at least $1,000. You know, when I don't know, but probably fairly soon. And this was another one. Like I told people to buy this back at like $40. Lost Origin ETBs, and this is one thing me and Pokemon Joey both do agree on. We both do agree Lost Origin ETBs are a good pickup, a good investment, and yeah, just all in all, really good. And they will probably perform really well over the next, year or so. Like they're not bad buys, but now we're going to get to where we disagree. I don't agree that Crown Zenith is an extremely great set. I agree that yes, it has one up and all that, but like when you compare the actual chase cards and how much people are really going to want to rip it when it's expensive as fuck, um, it's not going to be many people. And it's the same thing with like Celebrations. Is there are like no fucking good chase cards in Celebrations for the most part. They're like extremely expensive. That like with Prismatic right now, you're going to see like yeah, the prices are down right now. Which I find funny with these people because they all are like such little grifters that it's like when the prices just drop right away, they're like, oh, Prismatic's tanking, bro. Like, you were a genius if you bought Celebrations instead of Prismatic. And yes, right now, technically, if you bought Celebrations instead of Prismatic, yeah, you look smarter right now. But it's only because Prismatic is still being printed and Celebrations is not. But once Prismatic is done being printed, I think it's going to launch like crazy. That it's like put it this way. This is my best advice for people that are first getting into this hobby. If you're first getting into this hobby and you think you're only going to maybe be here for like 3 or 4 months and you don't really want to like stick around that long, to maybe go with 151. Like maybe 151 is your set to maybe get. To maybe grab some booster bundles for 60 or 50. By the time you leave the hobby, they're like 90 or 100, and you just flip them and you're out of the hobby, and you made a little bit of money, double your money, and all that jazz. But if you're planning to stick around for like 2 or 3 years, like myself, where like I don't see myself going anywhere, and like leaving the hobby anytime soon, Prismatic is the home run play. Because, yeah, it's going to go down for a little bit. But when this is done being printed, and a lot of people say, well, there's no good pulls in the set. I mean, you can open up so many and not get anything. That's with every set, dude. Like even Crown Zenith. Like, honestly, pull rates are terrible in every set. Like, you're going to lose money opening almost every set. Like, Zenith does have some of the best pull rates, but, like, all pull rates are terrible. So, like, that doesn't even matter. I mean, like, look at Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies ETBs, the pull rates were god-awful in these. I mean, they were literally just reckless. That, like, with Evolving Skies, the pull rates were just, you were getting cooked even when these were, like, $40 an ETB. You would literally, like this was a big thing. People were so pissed because they would crack a $40 ETB and literally get, like $3 in chase cards. They would be so pissed. And like, they would open up 10 of them, and they would just get nothing and be so pissed because they would expect at least like an Umbreon or something out of 10 and they would get nothing. And it still is what, $300, $350 for a regular ETB, $800 for the Pokemon Center version. And that's because you waited. And the same thing happened with Evolving Skies. Even the booster box, like I really want to break this down comparing Prismatic to Evolving Skies. The same thing happened with the booster box. The booster box went from so $100 went to 125, went to 133, went to like 140, then it went up to like 180, and it kind of like hovered there for a minute, and then it actually dropped back down to 140. And that's actually when I opened my box, one of the boxes I had, and then it just spiked up like fucking crazy. Went to like 400, then 600, then, and the rest. $2,000 now. $2,000 plus. And, we're seeing that with Prismatic right now. It's because it's still being printed. Yes, it's going to go down some. But, like, right now for the PC ETBs, I mean, like, if you're holding positions of these, I would continue holding. Like, there's no real reason to sell. Because they're probably done with the print run. And even if they're not, like, the PC ETBs, in 3 to 5 years, these are going to be your next $500-$600 ETBs. I mean, for the PC ETB version. And, that may sound like a crazy take, and I know a lot of people may not agree with that. They may like 151 better, but look at the value of the chase cards, and honestly, that EV promo is pretty fucking sick. But either way, I think Prismatic is a home run play. And even comparing the regular Prismatic ETBs, like I was trying to explain this to a few different people that I talked to, that even these Prismatic ETBs, at like, what are they, $95 now? I mean, God, these are literally better looking even too. And way more value is in the set than Crown fucking Zenith. The pull rates suck in both sets, so don't even let that like cloud your judgment. What matters is how valuable the fucking chase cards are when this is out of print. And that's why, like, yes, you're taking probably one of the biggest risks of Prismatic. That yes, they could print like crazy and like print, but they would have to print millions and millions of boxes to crash like the price any lower than 200 for a PCETB. They have to print like millions of boxes, and I just don't see that happening, especially when they're on the third print run of Prismatic. But and it could happen, and it's the same thing with the UPCs. Like it could happen that the UPCs could continue to drop to like 150 and stuff like that. But if you're willing to wait it out like 2 or 3 years, they're going to do better than most sets. And like it really is the home run play. And I don't even like to admit it because I have such a massive 151 position myself. Like I have a huge 151 position. Um and and a bunch of these other sets. But it's still just a really good product to get in your collection, especially when people are kind of like meh about it, you know? And, some of these other sets too, like Chilling Reign, like I was saying, Lost Origin. But, yeah, it's just wild. And there's just so many people that, like, they don't get it. I almost can't stand to even hear most people's takes because they're, like, so fucking dangerously stupid that it's just like, man, look at the set values. Like when a set blows every other set out of the water, it is more expensive over the long run. You know, like let's compare Evolving Skies to every other set in the Sword and Shield era. You know, your second most expensive booster box is Fusion Strike at like $750, $800, and it's like Evolving Skies is running to $2K. You don't think Prismatic is probably going to be the best set? It's built just like Evolving Skies. Like it may not have the sick promos in it as like 151 does that kind of like brings it up some, but the chase is definitely there. That you can tell it's not going to be a poo-poo set like people think. Like it's going to be some fucking battle styles. But that gets me to my next point with Evolving Skies, like jumping into the Evolving Skies arena. That it's like, man, this really could be your last time to get like decent prices on Evolving Skies boxes and packs and ETBs and stuff like that. And you should take that opportunity very seriously, especially for ETBs. Because, I mean, even seeing these at $400, like, this set is team up level quality. And it just has mad potential to be $1,000. Same with the Charizard UPC, another massively underrated box that is now seeing tick ups. It was like $250. It's not like $325 or something crazy. I have like 12 of them. Sealed cases back here, actually, So, you're just seeing that stuff tick up. And, like, if you're a real collector, though, and you really, really want to go for, like, vintage, out-of-print sets like Unbroken Bonds and stuff like that, I still think Unbroken Bonds is a good entry point. I was saying this $800 that people should enter into this set, and now it's, $2,000 plus. Beautiful Machamp on the side. I mean, yeah, it probably wasn't as good a buy as Cosmo Eclipse was, but it's still a really good set. But I also want to break it down, man, that, like, I had one of my subscribers talking about, like, Japanese boxes, and, yeah, I feel like a lot of investors don't understand, like, that, like, Japanese, yeah, it is still good. Like, if you want to get your hands on Team Up, and you don't want to spend $10,000 for a booster box, but you still want a Team Up booster box, the Japanese is really, like, a good alternative that, like, even myself, I'm personally looking into buying some Japanese Team Up, because, I mean, you can buy, like, a Japanese Team Up booster box for, like, $800-$900, which is so dirt cheap when you consider American Team Up is, like, almost $10,000. So, and, like, honestly, the boxes are, like, kind of rarer for Team Up, in Japanese, and they're pretty unique looking. That yeah, I actually am. I have been considering that for the past couple months actually, but like one of my subscribers just like kind of reminded me of like, oh yeah, I forgot about Japanese, but and also Phantom Gate, which is the Japanese version of Phantom Forces. That box, it almost comes in like a little booster bundle looking thing. Like it's not like a real booster box. That's kind of why I was going with the team up instead. But Phantom Gate is a sick looking little box. It's like a $1,200 box, and you don't get that many packs in it, but it's really epic looking. But if you really want a booster box, Japanese like for like Sun and Moon XY era is kind of a good way to go. Like the boxes look cooler, they're cheaper, um, and I think eventually like shit will spill over into that of like your English collectors that are like, oh, is Japanese investable? Oh yeah, it is. It is. Huh. And then they'll buy, team up, at least team up, really some of the expensive sets. So, I mean, I think if you're getting in at like the 8 or 900s with Japanese team up, you're really not going to be doing that bad. Because I could see that set spilling up to like 2 or 3 grand, you know, just because of the rarity of the box. I understand like most people prefer English, but Japanese team up is pretty fucking sick. That if you really want a booster box team up in your collection, it's really not a bad alternative. Because a lot of people think like, oh well, if you invest in Japanese, bro, it's just gonna crash, and like that's not really the case. Japanese does go up just like English. It's just it's not in the spotlight, like American shit is. Because I mean, if it was, Japanese team would be like at least 6 or 7 grand a box. I mean, it is that crazy, but yeah, it's like if you do want team up in your collection to have the cool Pikachu and the Zekrom on the box, Japanese team up's not a bad idea. It's actually been running up a decent bit. It was in the 600s, now it's like 9, so like it does go up too. Like buying Japanese is not just like a total fucking shit show, like waste of money. And honestly, I would prefer it over buying like a bunch of 151 because like at least you're getting into a Japanese booster box that's fucking rare, you know? Like tons of 151 is not rare. Like 151 will probably never be rare, guys. Like I hate to break that down. Yes, it may go up in price. Everything goes up in price usually in Pokemon, but like 151 is by all means not rare. And like Japanese team up booster boxes, definitely rare, you know? So just something to take into consideration in this hobby, a different way to look at things. But yeah, like one of my subscribers mentioned that, which is a smart idea, by the way. Subscriber, Japanese shit is still good. And a lot of people do take it for granted. I've always kind of been a little sketched about it myself, and I've kind of like been on the fence. But yeah, like the more and more I do look into it after seeing these prices, I'm definitely looking into maybe grabbing at least 1 or 2 booster boxes of team up. So of course Japanese. But yeah, so that's just some things I'm looking at grabbing and considering, just kind of jumping all over the place like I always do. But yeah, so anyway, that's all we have for this video there, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. But just, yeah, like shit's just wild right now. And there's not even with battle styles. A lot of people were like, not to like just continue to ramble, but like a lot of people with battle styles are still doubting it in the 200s, and it's like even battle styles, it still will blow your mind in like 3 or 4 years, because it's out of print. It's eventually going to just rocket up there too. But either way, to each their own. That's just my advice for what I think is going to do well. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. We're out.